available in digital platforms. We're now back filming more crisp visuals. You can listen to everything, of course, on all of the digital platforms. You have already all the previous ones we've done a couple since lockdown, but this is our first back to business, crisp one. So
exactly. We've still got the social distancing going.
Yeah, 100%. I need a new mask. You know what I want? I want that mask from the Winter Soldier.
Well, that was good.
Yeah, just that one. It's sold out, obviously. So, yeah. But first and foremost, you know what I want to say? I want to put out a disclaimer. So my disclaimer is that all the opinions shared on this podcast are just opinions. They're not gospel. If you don't like them, switch off, etc. Right? They're just opinions. So yesterday, I went on my Instagram because I'd just seen the nominations for GRM Daily's Rated Award, which is now going to be streamed this year.
Yeah.
Via YouTube, in partnership with YouTube Music, I think.
Yeah.
The categories, yeah. Okay. You know, let me get the categories up, okay? I'll keep it nice and simple. Obviously, you have your normal categories, which is best DJ, best male artist, best female artist, etc., right? And best personality. First and foremost, what I'm going to say about best personality for the GRM Daily's Rated Awards. How Munya Chihuahua is not on there is a complete disrespect. It's criminal, in my opinion, because this guy had like 4,000 followers and now he's got 150. Yeah. He's made skits which have gone viral. Yeah. He's like creativity, like personality. That's the definition.
Yeah.
Of what he's producing.
Yeah.
Yet what they've done is they've put a few bait faces in there, and on top of the bait faces they've put podcasts in there as well, which really should have its own category. No. They've put the Receipts in there, the Receipts podcast, 3 shots of tequila. I believe that if you're going to do that, you should have an own podcast category, surely, right?
I think they should have done that, actually, because
that was quite confusing to me.
Yeah, I mean, I get it when they're talking about personalities and stuff, but I think a separate category would be better.
Yeah, definitely would be better. There's plenty of podcasts out there, aside ours, obviously, but you can just do a podcast category.
Yeah, of course. Don't forget these I'd strike deals with the Spotify's and everything like that. So, do you know what I'm saying? They done good things for their brand and everything like that. So I personally believe.
I tell you what's really nice is the female artists of the year. You got Alakai Harley in there, Brenya, Darko, Ivory Doll, Lady Leisha, Little Sims, Miss Banks, Shabo, Stefflon Don, and T Zanos. Who do you think is going to get that?
I'm not too sure. You see, the way they've got it all set up, I'm trying to think of who's been really active
this year.
Yeah, like there's not.
I think Darko is in with it. I don't know if Little Sim's really been active like that. Miss Banks had a good year. Shabo's had a good year. But I do feel some of these are newer, like in the sense of they're not really...
What do you think it is? Do you think it's like... Do you think they're doing like...
I think the most consistent artist in there who deserves it is probably Miss Banks. Now, that's not disrespect to the others, because the others have been putting in their work. But
no, but she's been more visible. She's been more visible.
Bangers.
I would say she's been more visible.
And the rest of it, that's what I thought about that. One thing I don't understand is looking at which one is it now. Hold on.
So I'm saying...
You've got Video of the Year here.
I
don't understand. Video of the Year, you've got H and AJ Tracy. But I swear that came out like a couple of months ago. So my thing is, where's the cut-off point? Because if it's supposed to be best this year, is it from January to now, essentially? Or do they do January to March or something, or the back end of 2019? Because there's something that doesn't tally up.
But that's the problem. That's what you're saying about with the female MCs as well. Because when you go through that catalogue, there's a couple of MCs that haven't done anything. Do you know what I'm saying? And these guys, as you said, if they just put it out like, what, last month?
Yeah. What else have they got here?
I think they just got too many name brands in one category. They should have shortened the list.
Like even so, like Mixtape of the Year, Young Bane, Quarantine. That came out.
We got the mixtape, yeah? Yeah,
that came out a couple of months ago, the Young Bane.
Bags and Boxes by Blade, that's been circulating a lot longer than that one.
Yeah, so
do you get what I'm saying?
I think H2O's been out a while, fair play.
Nate Small's ones has been out for quite a bit.
Yeah. Let's have a look. Let's look here. It's personality, taste, gangster. The track of the year, I think them. Oh no, I was about to say the track of the year they might have it, but I don't think they do because they've got AJ Tracy, Rain, H Taste, I think that should be in there. Darko Gangster, yep, should be in there. D Block Europe, Home, yeah. Heady One Both, J Hus Must Be, yep. Mist and Fredo, So High. Wasn't that like a year and a bit ago now?
I think so, was it?
It wasn't recently. When I mean recently, I mean the last 6 months. And then you have Tion Wayne, Dutch and Stormzy, I Don't Know, which came out like... That come out like yesterday, bruv. That's a disrespect. The video came out barely a week ago. I think that's... That come on, man. And I like that song, I like those artists, but that's just... Come on, bruv. Stormzy and... Stormzy, Ed Sheeran, Burna Boy, own it. But the Tion Wayne and Dutch and Stormzy, nah, bruv. Don't rush. That has to be the track of the year for me.
Yeah, because everybody had that. That was all over TikTok. That was all over...
That's
Instagram.
worldwide as well.
That was a global situation. I think that has to be...
Track of the year.
Yeah.
Radio DJ. Okay, Dotty, DJ Target, Charlie Sloth, Kenny Allstar, Rob Bruce, Semtex, Snoochie Shy, Tiffany Calver, Yinka and Shayna.
But you see, okay, but now with this one, this is where, well, it's not even just with this one. I think that what's happening with all of these right now is we're going back to just the regulars again.
Right.
So it's not really putting in anybody in the spotlight that's probably had a phenomenal year of standing out. Because these are the kind of people that you would literally go onto their stuff naturally anyway. So I wouldn't really say who's done more. To be fair with you, I agreed with what you said yesterday on the stories with Rob Bruce. Not just because he's been on our show, but because I've seen him put in work.
Yeah.
And even with the lockdown, he's been still entertaining people and doing things by having multiple artists.
Yeah, and doing the thing with Mobos as well.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think this is the thing. I think someone like Semtex, Charlie Sloth, DJ Target, and Dotty, Kenny Allstar as well, they're all phenomenal. Yeah. But they shouldn't be in there because I don't think it's a fair category. Because then you've got Henry in there, Henry Crochet, and she's on Represent and stuff. She's a great thing, and she's had a good year as well. Yeah. So I don't think she should be. Oh yeah, yeah. I don't think like Semtex, DJ Target, and Charlie Sloth be in it because to me they're already established names. They've already got awards. You're just giving them enough. Charlie Sloth won already. You know what we need to mention? Speaking of DJs, we're going to talk about Westwood in a minute, but we're going to get to that. Just as an overview, because we touched on something before. Okay, Male Artist of the Year.
That's a very big one, though.
And this is the thing: Male Artist of the Year. They got Krypton Conan, D Block Europe, and Young T and Bugsy. So does that?
So Male Artist of the Year.
I've always wondered, did they D Block Europe and Krypton Conan classify as one artist?
Well, yeah, because they're gonna take them as the art. Yeah, they're gonna take them as the duo. But even with the duos and the groups and stuff like that, I mean, I get it, but more time it doesn't really matter to me because it's what the music they're producing that matters really. But that's another thing. What did Krypton Conan put out last year?
Revenge of Sleep.
Okay.
And anyone's on there. H is on there. H is quite a few categories.
I think, to be fair with you, I think H had a better year than most of these, man. To be honest, like, because when you're thinking about commercial, all right, cool. Somebody's gonna say like H has got like a bigger engine behind him to push certain things, but all of these they're all signed on.
They've all got.
All of them have got major backing. Yeah, they've all got distribution. Yeah.
And an album of the year for me, I mean, they've got J Hus, Big Conspiracy, good album. Kano, Hoodies All Summer, Krypton Conan, Revenge of Sweet. Most Stacko, which I was a little disappointed by. And then they've got Skepta, Chip, and Young Ad's Insomnia. I swear to God that came out a month ago. Yeah,
I was about to say that's not really too far. It's like they've blended and merged certain things. I just think they should stick to between then and then.
If they're doing it, if this is 2020, are they talking about from, say, August 2019 to August 2020, or that's my thing. Because if so, if that's what they're trying to do and they're trying to include the back half of last year, then that's fine. Like it's no issue to me. But yeah, you know what I'm gonna go on? I'm gonna scroll right back here. This is my beef. Okay. Personality of the year.
Okay.
My personal beef.
Let's get to it.
So we got Alhan from Boiler Room, etc.
Yeah.
Chuck the Online, Mo Gilligan, Poet, The Receipts Podcast, Steve-O the Madman, Young Philly, ZZ Mills, and 3 Shots of Tequila.
Yeah.
Mo Gilligan had a great year.
Most
Yeah.
seems to be making something that we spoke about before. So fair play.
Yeah.
Chunks, to be honest, I don't really follow him, so I don't really know him. So I'm going to allow it at that. Alhan, that's good because he doesn't really get in those kind of categories to my knowledge. Chucky Online, another person with a good year.
Yeah.
Fair play. Steve-O the Madman puts out good content. Young Phillies easily knows. I personally think first and foremost, get rid of both the podcasts. That's not to say they're not good or whatever.
You just believe they should be in their own category.
Yeah, because they're not a personality. You're judging the podcast as a personality, which is different. Personality should be like a duo or a person, like a singular duo.
Okay, yeah. No, I understand. I understand that.
Just by eliminating the Receipts podcast and 3 shots of tequila, it's fine. But a lot of these men are on here just for their own industry links, really.
Okay. Yeah, no. Do you know what? Do you know what it is? I understand what you're talking about because, as you said, with these podcasts, it's like everybody that's you just mentioned that's been on their solos, they've all diversified and gone somewhere else. So they either have their own YouTube channels or they've jumped on other shows and like when you're talking about Chuck, he's done interviews with Joshua, all of these kind of people. So he's done his own personal thing away from his podcasting.
They were going to classify him, you notice they haven't put him in with Poet as a podcast. So since they're including podcasts in this category, they haven't included...
That's why I think that's why I think podcasts should have their own category.
If you're going to nominate Chucky and Poet, and you're already nominating podcasts, shouldn't you just put Halfcast in there? Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, that splits it up. Because then you can say Alhan and Poet, but then you see they probably wouldn't do that because then Poet would be representing in both. Because if he did half cast and then you got Alhan by himself, yeah, then you know what I'm saying, and then yeah, that's why I said they should just have a separate one themselves.
Who do you think would win that? Who would you put your money on for that one?
What on this one? Me personally, I gotta go with Mo, because I just think Mo just had a tremendous transition, because he went from doing skits to being on Channel 4. Do you know what I'm saying? And then not just being on Channel 4, him actually being side by side with Nasty and then having his own, that's another thing as well. Do you get what I'm saying?
If I change this up, Mo would stay in there.
Yeah.
Easy Mills would stay in there.
Definitely.
Both of the podcasts.
Yeah, the podcasts, I just think they should be in their own category.
Take out Chunks, Young Philly and Poet.
Would you have them in a separate? Yeah, would you like yeah? Because you could, you see, it's a bit funny with that one because, like, as you said, with the personality, you can have like radio personality or TV personality, but then they're separate. They would have those as separate categories. So if you go into, I don't know, all the rest of the generic interviews, award ceremonies, they would say like the BAFTAs, they would have TV personality or radio personality or film personality or drama personality. So yeah, you would have different things. I think that category is too grouped. It's too grouped.
My biggest thing, like I said earlier, is the fact that Mourinho Joao's not in there based on the kind of year that he's had.
Yeah.
The success he's had, and he is, to me, the definition of a personality.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's a presenter, but he does characters, he does skits, he does a little bit of comedy. Like, he's quite...
He's done the Mo thing.
Huh?
He's done the same thing that Mo's done.
Yeah.
And he's grown very fast.
I think ZZ Mills has always been good.
Yeah, ZZ's, yeah, she's definitely somebody necessary to the culture.
Someone in her own lane, which is nice. And I just think some of these managers... I think some of my beef is as well that some of these people are too established, and that's part of the problem. Because if you look at someone like Alhan and ZZ Mills,
yeah,
they're both well-known names.
Yeah.
You know that Alhan's a bit more established, well, quite significantly more than ZZ Mills. In the same way that Mo might be. You know?
Yeah.
Or who else have got in it? Or like Chunks and Young Philly are just right at the top anyway.
Yeah.
Because of their reach and their followers and their exposure and the rest of it. So I'm disappointed, I would say, with the category. I think they should do a podcast only one or a show one, because then they could put in listening party, for example. They could put in multiple.
That's another thing.
Or
because that, all right, now as you touched on that with the listening party, we got what's his name, Lippy. He's done multiple things as well.
That's what some people said.
So like, do you know what I'm saying? Like Lippy should have been in there because he had a big year. When I think about it, he had his own podcast that was going on, plus the listening session, plus Is it for the culture or state of the culture?
For the culture.
For the culture, yeah. State of the culture is Joe Budden and I'm not. So like, do you know what I mean? And that's the big thing with Tricky as well. So yeah, I think they should have had shows and they should have done podcasts as separate and this thing now. But
well, a lot of people are saying that Dutch Ability should get that breakthrough artist.
Yeah, but bruv, listen, Dutch had a big year. Dutch had a big year.
Just a turnaround, I think, just from the...
Okay, when did H come out then?
What was his...
Is he longer than 2 years? Or is he like... Because me personally, I'm not, no disrespect to him, I've only just really listened to him last year.
I think maybe that Keisha and Becky...
That's when he stepped in. And when did that come out?
Yeah, that's the one. Maybe a few years ago because he did that homegrown.
Okay, so he's been out longer than just a last year thing then.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, all right, yeah, cool. Because I was gonna say like I've been hearing his tune all over the radio normally.
Yeah, I think Dutch.
I feel sorry for Dutch right now because. Well, I feel sorry, but I'd still say it still works. It still worked out for him because with everything that happened outside with the pandemic, it probably it worked in the favor of getting the music videos out and then these man interacting with people directly through the socials. But then it could go against man because he's probably missed out on a lot of the festivals that could have been having the name boosted up this year. Even though I think the police are just on his tail, bless him. I don't know. Say that again?
All nominations are from the 1st of June 2019 to the 1st of June 2020.
Yeah, but then... Well, yeah, all right, cool. Well, yeah, if they've got it like that, then I understand it. But then, yeah, it just gets a bit sticky when you have somebody who's just released a track a couple months ago compared to somebody that released a track, I don't know, September, November.
Video came out barely a month ago. That's just the video.
Yeah, then...
That's cheeky. It came out on the 29th of May.
Ah, it's okay. You see? So it really shouldn't be in the category.
And is it good enough? And you need to think, is it good enough for the whole year? I don't think these men are thinking like that.
No, they're just doing...
thinking like it's banging now.
Yeah.
It's on 2 playlists now. It's doing numbers now. That's fine.
And as I said, people, the everything changed up when we had to sit down during the lockdown. So you'll get somebody that would probably get like either more spins because we got nowhere else to go. And these lives are coming off and stuff. Or you'll get people that just miss the whole project completely because they're stuck in their house and they're having to do something else now. So you wouldn't be going to the club and hearing somebody's tunes spinning off.
Well, you know Wireless is doing a streamed... I mean, this is just madness, bruv. They've put up Munion's skit he's done for, I don't know, they haven't nominated for Personality of the Year.
Yeah.
I don't think have they done a Presenter of the Year category? I don't think they have they?
No, I think they just reside. But that's what they've done, wrapping it up as Personality of the Year, which is not fair because some people ain't like. Some people have been doing the presenting and doing multiple things.
If that's the case, then you should put Harry Panera in.
That's another thing.
Okay, but
he's another one that blew up straight up and down.
Like the fact that he's not in that is crazy.
I don't know. These I don't know.
I don't know about that, but
I don't know. It'll be interesting to see after people win what the artists would think. That's who I really want to know because they're not going to say anything now to disturb anything. But when certain people win, well, I think we might get the erratic Kanye West kind of explodes. Yeah.
What I will say, when we're speaking about DJs earlier, I'm sorry, but we have to touch a little bit on the situation with Tim Westwood. I've been going on Twitter and they've just been like going in on man.
Yeah. And it goes back to when you start talking about how the culture was back then compared to how things are now. Like, you're going to get pulled up. We've seen what's happened with the Twitter. Twitter is going off. If you've ever done anything with the Twitter back in the day, you better go back, check it out, because even Dottie got hit by it. Do you know what I'm saying? She got hit by it and stuff like that. Well, she got dragged up for the comments with the EastEnders or something like that. Said something about like, the the girl in EastEnders, she was big or something like that. She made jokes about like the Mighty Joe Young and stuff like that. And then all of those old tweets, things that people would joke about back in the day, which was very hurtful because these artists are coming through now and they're talking about these shows, like from even Alexandra Burke talking her stuff, Misha B talking about her stuff. So it's coming back and it's affecting, like that Misha B to Lisa thing, that's all resurrected again and people are trying to make it calm, but one person's career got stomped and another person's career went up.
And it's culturally relevant.
Exactly. So, you know, when you got things like that. So what Westwood was doing back then, that behaviour of what celebrities are getting dragged up right now, is looking like an Epstein thing. That's mad. I don't want to go on camera and say on record like man was physically doing these things, but at the time when we're looking at it, somebody like Rodney P had put the freestyle about it, and he was saying like, "Raw, this man's been going around and doing those things," but people didn't really give a damn right there. It's Westwood.
Well, it kind of goes to the power thing as well, about like the R. Kelly thing a little bit, but I'm not going to touch on that too much. But what I will say is that if a girl is 18 or 21 or of legal consent, and my man is however old he is, obviously that's not ideal and that's not really great. Do you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, they're both adults, they're both consenting adults. Yeah. So that's obviously I have my own reservations about that. I think that's mad.
It's a bit mad still.
Or whatever. But if you're of consent, both of you,
then you're gonna get into that, yeah.
But then again, I can't judge that. I might have my own opinion, be like, oh, that's a bit mad. But I can't say, oh, that's unacceptable. You know, he's doing this or she's doing that. He's taking advantage of them because at the end of the day, they're consenting adults. Like, and you know, from what I've heard and what I've seen and what I've read, it seems like it's consenting. I think that's the best way to say it.
But you see, this is another thing. But it's like, are these people? All right, cool. I get the whole the underage thing, and you know, people like thinking he's been getting the wild allegation, but there's nothing that's been do you get what I'm saying? And I'm not, like I said, I'm not backing him. I'm not backing him for the things, because my thing is like when you're in a room and you got like some young things around you, you got to play with the lines.
Uni girls are at least 19.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
19, 20, 21.
Yeah.
So I'm a bit like, okay, obviously, but this is my thing as well. If you're 19, let's say you're 19, which is a uni age, and you're linking a guy and he's in his 40s, that's wild.
That
is wild, but like,
oh my God. That's wild, bud.
There must be something there where you think it's fine to some degree, because otherwise you wouldn't do it, right?
Yeah, but bruv, if you're 40 years old, But
it goes back to this as well. It goes back to the whole supply and demand kind of thing, right? You're telling me that if a certain man wouldn't behave like that if there wasn't a demand for it, and the fact that he's got money, he's a status symbol, that plays a bit into it.
Yeah, they will.
We spoke about age difference before on the podcast, about how like a 40-year-old, like Leonardo DiCaprio being a 40-year-old man, and he goes out with women who are in their 20s.
Yeah. Well, like as I said, it's still. I don't know. Me personally, I think that gap, it would mean something, because it's two different. It's like a whole generation different. Do you know what I'm saying? There's a whole generational difference. So, like, what are you getting fulfilled from that?
That guy could not be your dad, but he could be your older brother or your brother-in-law. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah. But this is my thing. Is like.
But when you're playing with people that's like young like that, as I said, it goes back to what we was just talking about. The reason why I brought up the Twitter situation is because that was that time period, which unfortunately, I know everybody says we can't be making excuses for that, and people have it because, well, if that person was raped, like that person's still deemed as a rapist, that doesn't go away because there's trauma behind it. So somebody's still getting like sexually assaulted or taken advantage of, it still sticks with them and stuff. I understand that. But that is that time period where everybody didn't really give a shit. Do you get what I'm saying? It's only now when people are thinking about it, hold on, I really shouldn't have been doing that. But another thing is like how much, you know, is talking to to the younger generation, everybody makes mistakes when they're younger. That's why I said, if you're going to be 40 years old and you're messing around with 18-year-olds, fam, somebody's got more knowledge of how this thing goes.
Right.
Do you get what I'm saying? So you're going to be deemed as a predator. So since you know that, it's best you just don't be around that, because you could be in a room. Think of it. You go to a party to do a DJ or something like that, yeah, and it's nothing but high school kids there. They're telling you to come and play this, come and play that. Next thing, all of a sudden, people are like doing the bogle and bumping and grinding. You won't put yourself in the circle of the bumping and grinding, fam. Because how fucked would that look? You're in your face and you're bumping and grinding, high school gal. What's going on? Come on. That's where Cartel has to turn off.
This is what's crazy.
You know what I mean?
It's the fact that
And that's what he's doing. He's bumping and grinding on things on stage. Like,
it's never. I'm gonna tell you what I seen before when I was out, but it's never. You got to remember all these things as well. These are never poor or like not well-known men or anything. They're not nobodies.
no, it's people with power.
Right. So my thing is that surely that's part of the attraction why someone there, because
Of course.
somehow, like if you line up like this and you've got a young girl, let's say between 18 and 25, and there's a guy who works in a popular field, who's got dough, who's established, who's got status, and then you've got an average Joe, she wouldn't even consider talking to the average Joe. Because,
Yeah.
but this man she makes allowances for because he's got the status and the power and the money.
Yeah.
So my thing is a bit like,
Yeah,
it should
what?
be across the, if you're gonna think like it should be across the board, but
Yeah.
obviously, because you got to remember that there's guys her age who have got money, let's say, but then there's
They don't have the status.
yeah, as men get older as well, they usually tend to evolve a lot in their career, get
Yeah.
more money, have more
Yeah.
status, so they have more to offer.
Yeah, they can play the game better.
Rival, etc.
They can play the game better. So they're going to sweet talk better. Bro, I've been saying this to girls since we was in high school and college, and you get them kind of brothers that would... now, you'll be deemed as a hater at the time. Like, if you was in high school and the girl was going out with a guy from uni or something, pull up with his moped, got the AV jackets on and all of them kind of things. And if you said anything, the girls would turn around and be like... You don't get it, like an older man gets this thing. Where meanwhile, he's pit stopped at how many colleges before he's come to grab his girl from there. And you'll be seen as a little man at the time. And nobody's listening to just saying, listen, they're just playing the game better. That's all it is. You can't start screaming later on. It's like, no, you know what, when I think about it, it was abuse. No, because you was defending that back then. So you're like, if you was cool with it back then, it's best you just ease up right now. Like I don't like when people they want to get upset for it on the other thing. And I know some people are gonna come back and say like, yeah, but it's still deemed as trauma because you're a child, you don't know, and da da da. But nearly everybody went through that walk of life. When you're 18, I still don't think you're making clear decisions, depending on how you're going through life. Because some people can catch responsibilities early. And they can be mature by 18 and have their shit together and whatever. But emotionally, you're still developing because you haven't really lived enough life to say, you know what, I shouldn't have been in that room that day. That hotel party was looking like it was popping, but shit went wrong. Do you get what I'm saying? Look how many men have done that. Got football contracts and they go in and do or just record deals or something. And the girls will go back to the hotel. It's all popping, but then, you know, something goes wrong. And then because you're the name brand, you're the one that's going to get penalised for that.
Didn't it happen to someone else Saturday?
Yeah, it happened to my guy from the JLS thing. And even when he got acquitted with that, he bust case, but the stain was still there on his name.
Right,
Do you know what I'm saying?
You know, I've never been involved in something like that, thank God. But if that was me, and I bust case, and someone's out here saying this and that, whatever, man, it's fully suing them.
Yeah, all day. All day. Yeah.
Emotional
You got to get that defamation going.
Imagine Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson's heavyweight in the world, or Fire was the heavyweight.
Yeah, he probably got dragged the most out here, blood.
He got dragged through the mud hard. He was reckless with it. You read his autobiography, he's mad reckless, bro.
Yeah, of course.
You know, a lot of these guys now, these artists and these footballers, well, not all the footballers, mostly the American artists, they're not allowed phones in there. Like if girls are coming back to party with them, their phones have to be left downstairs, locked up.
Yeah, because
They have to sign non-disclosure.
do you know how, bro? Listen, when they said that was happening at Chris Brown's parties, or that was happening at Jamie Foxx's parties and all that, like poor Chris Brown himself alone, he's a target if he's gonna be in an area. Yeah, he already knows that. But we already know half of these girls that are going to this party, they're going there for a good time. Whatever that level of good time is, it is what it is. But you know what's gonna be at the party: reckless behavior, skinning out. That's what's gonna be at this party. They tell you to leave your phone downstairs because nobody knows how you're gonna be acting if you might feel guilty about what you've done in the morning.